Hello, and welcome back to the Give and Go. I'm your co-host, Reynoso, here with my boy.
Soltero. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. If you're above the drinking age, please have yourself a beer, have yourself some whiskey, some alcohol.
Hey,
it's a
cheers.
national holiday, man.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
celebrate. Dia del Pavo. Let's have a good day. Thank you guys for checking in, for tuning in to us once again. It's Matchday 5, baby. Matchday 5 delivered like no other, man. These games have been so good recently. I love it, man. I saw a chat comment up here that said he's starting to get used to those 3 a.m. Games. He's starting to get used to it now, and I feel it too.
We're here.
Yeah, today felt like the first day where my body got settled into the whole waking up early and just watching games for 10 hours straight. I love it, but I think what we should do is start off with the Brazil-Serbia game, and if you don't mind,
please,
I would love to get some words out here because I left this game. Honestly, great game. Great build-up. Huge build-up at the Lusail Stadium, the biggest capacity stadium in Qatar, 80,000 people. And I truly think this was the most packed game of the tournament so far, man. Brazilians showed out, and we had a few Serbians in the crowd as well. But we have built this up as a really big game because Brazil is, in my opinion, the favorite for the title and my predicted pick for the champion. But likewise, Serbia, I predicted was going to be a dark horse in this tournament. And so these are two big teams matching up against each other to start off the tournament, headlining game. And honestly, I think at the end of the day, I think it delivered. I think it delivered, man. A great match that saw Brazil win 2-0. And I think my biggest takeaway right off the bat, man, Brazil looked like true title contenders.
They've arrived.
They've arrived. Brazil looks absolutely incredible. And let me just sound off on some takes here, man. Let me just get some takes off here. I truly think that Brazil will do this to every single team in this group. I think Brazil is going to dominate group what? G, H? Where am I at now?
A, B, C, D, F, G, H, G.
G. I think Brazil is going to dominate Group H. Neymar looked solid today. Went off with an ankle injury at the end. That's a little concerning.
Saw that.
We'll see what happens there. Vinny Jr. was really, really good penetrating on that left side. Rafinha, man. What was going on with him, bro?
Yeah, little sloppy. From Rafinha's perspective.
Yeah.
Everyone else, though, on that Brazil squad was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it highlights the quality of the Brazilian team when one player's bad, you stand out because everyone else is so good.
That's
man.
true, yeah.
The way I feel about this match, though, when I think about Serbia and their role in this tournament as potential dark horses, I'll be honest to my Serbian folks, I would not be that worried. Because, like I said, I think Brazil is going to do this to every team in this group. So a 2-0 loss at the end of the day might not be the worst thing, man. I think Serbia still looks towards that Switzerland match as the favorite or as the potential moment for them to get out of this group. That's their biggest game. You'll take the loss and you move on. Sadly enough, it's tough to get a good indication of the Serbian team because Brazil was so dominant. They were so dominant. Serbia started off well for those first 20 minutes, but then after that, they let their foot off the gas, and Brazil took over completely. And so I'm not going to be that hard on them, man. Truly, I'm not going to be that hard on them. I might be biased here because I have them going far in the tournament, but Brazil look like true champions, man. They look like true champions, and if you're Brazilian, you're feeling good this time around. One of the best Brazilian teams that they have formed in the past decade, and they showed out, man. They showed out. What'd you think initially of that match?
So I'm going to start off with the opposite direction. I'm going to be very critical of Serbia here, man. So I approached this game as a tight game, and it was for 20 minutes, as you already pointed out. Serbia started off really aggressive. I remember the first scenes of this game was one of the Serbian players like hounding Neymar, pushing him a little bit, and I absolutely loved that. But after 20 minutes, for the rest of the game, for the rest of the 70, 80 minutes that played on in this game, Serbia completely let go. And it became very apparent in that second half where Serbia just got deeper and deeper and deeper into their own final third, and Brazil just choked them slowly and slowly and slowly until that first goal dropped, and then we saw the golazo from Richarlison, who got a double today.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Who got a double, but best goal of the tournament so far. And I guess we could get to that a little bit later, but I do really want to criticize Serbia here because my biggest problem was, first off, where's Kostic? I guess he was injured. That is my only source of like knowledge as to why he did not play today.
That was so weird that he
it made no sense.
Didn't get a single minute in
right,
this
right.
game.
And I tried to look online, like, where's Kostic? Nobody really knew. So my only guess is maybe he got like a knock earlier today or last night in training. That is my only source as to why Kostic did not play today. I do not know why he would not have played. Seriously. My other thing was I was already worried based off the squad sheet
yeah.
in the sense that Stojkovic went with just Mitrovic, not the double of Mitrovic and Vlahovic. So already from the get-go, he was going slightly more defensive than he usually does. And from that moment, I was like, okay, Serbia going defensive off the get-go. And immediately I was just like, damn it. Like, if John Herdman, Canada's coach, was in charge of the Serbian squad, he would have been like, Kostic, I don't care if you're hurt, you're playing.
Yeah. Vlahovic
would have started, and yeah, I just didn't like it.
I thought it was weird.
I thought it was really weird.
It almost defined the game from the get-go.
I think so, man.
Brazil took to that, and they took complete advantage of the lack of quality they had out there, because they at the end of the day, they fielded a more defensive team than what they actually could have in terms of offense.
Yes.
They could have such an offensive team if they went with what they've gone with
Yes.
the whole qualification cycle.
It's what got them unbeaten against Portugal in that qualification group. So I was just like, okay, that's not good. And when you look at what Chiche did for Brazil, he went the opposite direction. He went pure offense, starting Neymar as a midfielder alongside an attacking midfielder in Paquetá, and the only singular defensive midfielder with Casemiro. Incredible.
Yeah.
When you think about it, that's what, like six? Yes, five.
Five
Completely offensive picks from Chicha. That's ridiculous, but obviously it paid off because
terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying because at the end of the day, that second half was completely dominated by Brazil's offense. But just to go in a little bit more on Serbia, what really, really frustrated me was, sure, they started off aggressively in those first 20 minutes, but after that, they just got deeper and deeper, and the players that had the most touches was their back line. And I'm just like, with a midfield of Milinkovic-Savic, Gudeli, and Sasha Lukic, those midfielders have to get more touches. They have to. If you include Dusan Tadic as a part of that attacking midfield, they have to get more touches in their central midfield, and they didn't. But it's because they relied on their back three and their wing backs to get more involved possessively, and I thought that was a big mistake from Stojkovic, man, from Dragan, their coach. I didn't like it. I actually hated the approach that Serbia took in this game. And ultimately, it's why they ended up getting dominated by Brazil in that second half, man.
I think, my bigger criticism isn't on the Serbian team. It is on the coach. I'm worried now about the coach specifically.
I'm worried.
How he's going to handle the team. If he's not going to field the best 11
Yeah.
going into every match, then Serbia doesn't have a chance.
No.
But I think Serbia themselves, the players themselves, they showed a lot of heart in that first half. And then in the second half, Brazil took over, bro, because I don't think you're giving them credit. I don't think you're giving them the credit. This is a championship level team. There's a reason I picked them as a champion, bro. It's not just because South America bullshit. I think it's because it's genuinely the best team in the world. Number one ranked on FIFA. And I know FIFA rankings are weird, but number one ranked for a reason.
No,
I think that's what we saw today. And it's going to happen to Switzerland. It's going to happen to Cameroon. The same thing where logically you're going to look at the teams and be like, well, why wasn't Jacques on the ball as much? Or why weren't they able to generate as many opportunities? And I think it's because Brazil is that truly that good.
I'm glad you said that, and I'll get there in one last second, because the last thing I want to say about Serbia is that, truthfully, I thought they were very sloppy on the ball when they had their opportunities, and I mean that, and I mean from everybody. Milinkovic-Savic, Gudeli especially, even Tadic, man, Tadic. Every Serbian player had a heavy touch, truthfully, and that's what frustrated me. If they had played the same way, but they were tight on the ball, the way that I had expected them to be, then I would have been okay with a loss today. But every single Serbian player was very heavy on their touch, and ultimately their sloppiness really, really frustrated me. And that's what got me, because I had Serbia being a very tight team on the ball. They weren't even that today.
They were that for the first 40, bro. For the first 30,
for
40
the
minutes,
first, For the first 20, they were that. But after 20 minutes, they got tired. They got tired of having the ball.
No, they did. They got fatigued.
And you can't do that. If you want to beat the best teams in the tournament, you cannot get tired of having the ball. Serbia legitimately said, we cannot handle having the ball for this long, so we're just going to sit back. And that's what got me. That's what really frustrated me. But at the end of the day, it's why I have Switzerland over Serbia getting out of this group. No, it is. It is. No, it is. No, it is. For me, Serbia, for this reason, are a little bit more sloppier than Switzerland. And you made a point. You said that you had Brazil doing this against any team, even Switzerland. This is where I slightly disagree. I think Switzerland are the more compact team. I think they're the smarter team at the end of the day. And if Brazil do this exact same thing to Switzerland, then Brazil are winning the trophy. I genuinely mean that because
They will.
I have
they will do this to Switzerland, bro.
Yeah,
Cameroon did it to him today.
in a way,
They did it to
in
him,
a way,
man.
in a way.
Change Chupo for fucking Vinny Jr. bro.
Right.
It's a different game.
Right, but I also have Switzerland being more offensive though, as in
Sure.
Serbia really did not create anything.
No.
If you think about it, Serbia did not have a
They
clear
didn't
cut
field
chance.
an offensive team, though.
Right.
They didn't field it.
Right.
If they did, then I would understand that argument. But they
Right.
just didn't. And that's
Right.
why my coaches are worried.
Right, and that's why my argument is I'm curious to see where Switzerland stands against Brazil because I have Switzerland as the better defensive team and the better offensive team when you compare them to Serbia alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited now to see Brazil, Switzerland in that next Group G game because for me, that is going to dictate how good this Brazil team is and how good Switzerland is too going forward. But yes, all right, enough of the Serbia trashing because I thought they were very average today, to be completely honest. To now go to Brazil, Brazil were amazing, bro. Especially in that second half. They were absolutely incredible, man.
Good, man.
There were so many options, and they didn't let up. They did not let up. You already said it. Vinicius Jr., Richarlison, Neymar in that midfield, Paquetá always looking for that ball, and Casemiro just being that destroyer in the midfield, but also being able to distribute. Brazil were incredible, man.
And I was telling you that
They were
it
incredible.
actually felt like the first time that we've seen Brazil do this because the last time they were on a big stage was the Copa America, but that was during COVID, you know? There weren't many people in the stands, and when it comes to Brazil, I need that atmosphere. I need to see all those Brazilians in attendance, and with COVID involved, you didn't get that, man.
No.
So it's actually been like, honestly, 4 years since 2018 when we actually saw a good Brazilian team on a big stage, and so it felt good to see them actually deliver this time around, man.
Absolutely.
Because going into the match, it was looked at as a lot more closely than what ended up happening. But they stood out to me, and they showed out, bro. They showed out,
dude.
And a couple of things that I want to, in a way, apologize for is Richarlison, man. I think me, alongside many other football fans, have been doubting him, especially the selection of him over Roberto Firmino at the beginning of the squad selections.
Right.
But up until the 70th minute or 60th minute, he wasn't doing much. And we were actually saying, like, hey, bring in Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
But then he gets that first goal. Really good positioning off of the Vinny Jr. shot that rebounded.
Yeah.
And then the second one, man. The second one completely made me shut my mouth. I had to concede that he was meant to be here in this squad. Yeah. Richarlison shows out every time he plays for Brazil. And so at the end of the day, Chiche was right. I think he was right. At least so far, he was right in calling him up because, bro, a brace in a World Cup, I can't assure you that Gabriel Jesus would do that if he started. I can't assure you if Roberto Firmino does that if he started. But Richarlison did it amongst all these Brazilian offensive options.
Right.
It was Richie, bro.
It was Richie. Yeah, I need to see him go with that Swiss defense of like Elvedi, for example. That's when I'll be convinced. Like I said, I have a lot riding on that Swiss game, but you're right. Richarlison eventually did come through, getting for me the goal of the tournament so far.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let me do a poll here because we had a good argument here about Serbia versus Poland. Who do you guys think is the better team, Serbia or Switzerland?
Yeah, Serbia.
I'm interested to see where the people stand, if they rate the Serbian team the same way I do, or just kind of what happened. But yeah, Brazil gets the dub, 2-0 to start. They look really good.
They look amazing.
And it was just a really fun game to watch, man.
It was.
Yeah, really fun. Let me read some comments here. Let's see a lot of comments regarding the Portugal game. We'll get to that one next. Don't you guys worry.
Yeah.
Let's see. Donation from Darth Chewy, my boy. Good to see you again. Brazil did this with Neymar playing poor on the ball. I actually kind of agree.
There's also another super chat.
Here we go. We got another one. It's from Supreme Elite. Hey, appreciate that, man. Best football podcast ever made. I've been here since 3,000 subs, dude. Damn, that was like
my boy.
That was back like in May. And just wanted to congratulate you guys for the recent success. Keep striving. Any changes in your World Cup winner picks? P.S. Go Barca. Hey, Barca fan. For me, no. I'm sticking to Brazil. But for you, you made that pick before Benzema got injured. Are you sticking to it?
I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
But I think England still have a good chance.
England looks awesome.
Yeah.
England looks awesome. Poll results: who is the better team? Out of 105 votes, Serbia 67%. Switzerland 34%. I agree, folks. I agree. And we'll see it.
We'll find out soon.
We'll see it.
We'll find out very soon.
We'll see it very soon. Because even Serbia goes up against Cameroon. And like you said, if mentally the Serbia team is defeated after this match, which is a concern for me, the fact that they lost their first game, I do concede that point. Yeah. But still, if Serbia fields a good team, they're winning that match by multiple goals, bro. Cameroon show that they can be exposed, man. And Switzerland against Brazil, I just don't see. I see the same thing for them that happened to Serbia. Yeah. All right. Let me read some comments here. What we got? Neymar was not doing great actually, but Casemiro. I agree.
Casemiro had a great game.
He almost got a goal, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful goal.
A beautiful placed goal. That would have been.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about Portugal? Not yet. Actually, I want to talk about something. I made a notes here. Notes about this
Brazil game?
About the World Cup in general.
Oh.
There's a few patterns that I'm seeing, and I want to get the Chad's thoughts on this. Here's some things that I've noticed are just happening in this World Cup. First and foremost, long shots aren't falling.
No.
Shots from outside the box are just not falling, man.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't even getting close. Today, if anything, the shot from Danilo or Alexandro. It was Alexandro,
That was
right?
like the best long
It was the best long shot we've seen, and it's match day 5, man.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a long shot actually be that close. Secondly, no corner kick goals yet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no goals off of corners yet.
Yeah.
Or maybe even set pieces.
I think Godin got close
got
with
close.
the post today, but other than that, bro, no, nothing.
I thought that was interesting. And then third, a lot of players are slipping, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of slipping happening on these Qatari pitches, and I'm not sure what's the reason there. You mentioned it. They might be too perfect.
They're too perfect, bro.
They might be
These
too
are
perfect.
the perfect pitches, and these players aren't used to perfection.
They're slipping a lot, bro.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the production behind this World Cup has been amazing. Some of these shots that we're seeing,
The
I'm
camera
like,
work.
how the hell did they catch it? What was an example? We saw recently a shot that took me by surprise. A lot of
The slow-mos are
slow-mos.
beautiful pictures of the fans, pictures of the players themselves when like reactionary shots.
Yes.
When something
Yes.
is done, they just know where to put the camera at the players' faces. It's incredible.
The drone
shots have been
drone shot.
great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the production has been incredible. So honestly, props for that.
Yeah.
But shall we move on to the next match then?
I just want to say Brazil really did show out today. I do want to finish on this. Brazil showed out today. Everyone looks completely good. I'm curious to know Rafinha's. I do want to actually mention this and highlight this. Rafinha missed 2 sitters today.
Dude.
Let's not forget
Dude.
that. And I don't mean that from like Brazil would have won this no matter what. Like even if Rafinha missed 4, Brazil would have won this. I don't want to take that away from Brazil, but I want to highlight Rafinha specifically because, bro, 2 really bad finishes today, man. And that's interesting. Like if that's against, for example, teams who are as good as Brazil, like England, Spain, France.
Yep.
If that's against those type of teams, Rafinha is getting like lambasted. He's getting crucified out there. So Rafinha has to be a lot more clinical in those type of chances, man, because those for me were clear-cut finishes, and he did not deliver in that respect.
I agree. Yeah, no, I think now I'm wondering if moving forward, if Anthony gets a start now.
I would entertain that. I would entertain that if I'm Chiche.
You grow up in Brazil, in the favelas, playing your heart out, dreaming of one day being in a World Cup. And you show up on the biggest stage. You start for Brazil in a really good Brazilian squad.
And a really good one.
And you attempt those soft-ass
You
soft
whiff
ass
him,
finish.
bro.
You whiff him,
You
bro.
whiff him.
Both times. I was like, bro, put more power behind that. That's all you need.
Yeah.
It was really disappointing from Rafinha, but I guess I could commend him for being in good positions. But with the talent of this Brazilian team, he can be replaced.
If you have Anthony on the bench begging for that same opportunity, then I would take that as a big note if I'm Chiche, man.
Yeah, I wonder. Stephen Kim, Neymar's ankle looking swollen right now. I'm interested to see the development there. I'm interested. It happened at the very end. KS Mai, as Serbian fan, do I need to be stressed about incoming games? Your opinion?
Yes.
I don't think stressed, but you should be nervous. You should be nervous.
I'm with the notion that after this performance,
You should be nervous. Nervous.
I'm of the notion that you should be very nervous and that Switzerland now have a stronghold on that second place position. You're going to have a perfect game against Switzerland, in my opinion. You're going to have a perfect game.
We'll see. They'll get the dub against Cameroon. It's going to build up to be a great match. We'll see what happens with that Switzerland-Serbia match. But
I'd be nervous.
For now, what's a World Cup game? You can't. If you're Serbia, you can't go into it confident.
But if you're Switzerland, I would be a lot more confident now.
You got to win to start off your match. That's
honest.
for sure. That's a good point. Good point. Do you think Croatia will make to at least semifinals? I'm not talking Croatia right now. Why? All right, let's move on. Portugal against Ghana, a match that for the first 60, 70 minutes really wasn't delivering in the entertainment sense, man. It was a bit of a stalemate.
Yeah.
But then goals galore, brother.
Jesus
goals
Christ.
galore. 5 goals in like 15, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And so many different talking points. First off,
Oh
the
my
first
God.
goal. Ronaldo gets knocked down in the box. What did you think about that penalty call?
So for the first like 5 minutes of that penalty call, I was like, there's no way that's a penalty. At the end of the day, I can see why it was called. There is technical contact on the player's ankle or calf where there's no ball contact. So by definition, it is a penalty. So at the end of the day, I'm okay with the call.
It's
It is
bro.
soft.
It's
though.
so soft.
The thing is, if I think it was Elfat, the MLS referee.
Shout out.
Shout out. If he does not call that in real time, I don't think VAR calls it back.
Mm.
But since it is called in real time, we said before, VAR rarely takes a penalty back. It is very rare that they actually cancel out a penalty. So since he called it in real time, it is a penalty. I accept it. It sucks because for me, it is very soft.
And
but
it wasn't deserved.
He
He
was going completely out of the box.
he was going to Portugal.
Yeah. Yeah, he was not going anywhere near that Ghana goal. So for me, it's so frustrating. But by definition, yes, it is a penalty. So I don't think it's a robbery.
It's not a robbery.
It's not a robbery.
But you are frustrated if you're
I'm
Ghanaian.
frustrated.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't even going for Ghana, bro. And at the end of the day, I was left frustrated. But it is a penalty by definition. Ronaldo steps up and puts in a good penalty.
Yeah, man.
A good penalty.
No, honestly, unstoppable penalty.
Unstoppable,
Yeah,
yeah.
he showed his greatness on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's rough. It's rough. He was going to Portugal. Yeah. Following that, though, we saw a few minutes of the ball going back and forth.
Perfect response.
The perfect response, man.
man.
Kudus.
Yeah.
Kudus having himself a hell of a game, man. His dribbling was incredible today.
Yeah.
Was honestly super clinical to Ghana's success offensively because that's exactly what he utilized in order to like get behind that defense, send a tough ball in. Danilo Pereira fumbles it.
Misses, yeah.
Falls at not Jordan Ayew, Andre Ayew.
Yes.
Yeah. Falls at his feet and he scores the goal and it's a beautiful moment for Ghana.
1-1, baby.
1-1.
Just like that, too.
Yeah.
Where in a game, to be completely honest, for 70 minutes, this was Portugal's game. They weren't creating a lot, but they were dominating and bossing the possession of this game to the point where I was just like, no matter what, this either ends 0-0 or Portugal get a tight 1-0. I did not even see this comeback from Ghana coming. But when that goal came through, as you said, ecstasy for Ghanaians everywhere, man. I even got up because I was like, oh my God, they did it. They found a way through this Portugal defense, and it's 1-1. And at that point, bro, I could have seen the momentum switching completely. But then what happened, bro?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What was it? It was Ghana player loses it in the midfield. Bruno Fernandes picks it up.
Switches it to the midfield. Bruno Fernandes, and he finds Joao Felix.
Yeah, Bruno was in a great position where he thrives, where he's driving with that ball down the middle, wide open. Sends the ball to Joao Felix. And this was the one where the defender completely fucked up.
He also messed up.
Yeah. Messed up completely. Got tangled.
Yeah.
Ball goes through to Joao, your boy.
My boy.
And then the finish is the reason why he was 120 million, bro.
Something Rafinha couldn't do.
A beautiful finish from Joao. Good to see the youngster get his moment in this World Cup. Portugal goes up 2-1.
Yeah.
And then following that goal, momentum shifts. And we saw that shot of Andre Ayew. And I'm telling you, the production is insane because there was a camera shot of Andre Ayew getting subbed off, getting hugs, celebrating with his teammates because he tied the game. And then he turns around, sees the ball go in, and his reaction is demoralizing, man.
True shock.
Demoralizing.
True human shock.
The smile got completely wiped off his face. And it truly hurt me, and I know it hurt you.
It hurt me bad,
to see
man.
that, bro. Yeah. It's been fucking with you the whole day. You've been
the whole day, man.
Yeah,
I haven't been the same since
that's
that
why you're a little
Ghana
bit
game.
feisty today. It's because of that moment, man. That moment.
I've not been the same.
Yeah. Similar play where they lose the ball in the midfield once again. Yeah. Bruno finds himself in a great position. This time he feeds Rafael Leao.
He reverses it.
A perfect ball, and Rafael Leao, the current sub at that moment, comes in and he immediately places the ball perfectly into the bottom right corner, and he's smiling the whole time.
It's something he's been doing in Italy all season.
Literally, that the exact
all
shot.
All season. Yeah. From the wing, getting fed, curler shot to the far post. It's Leao all day. All day.
And so we saw the height of what Portugal can be when they are on the same page, when they're cooking. This is what they can do.
This is the height. This is the height,
right?
Yeah.
But Then the low
Oh
was
my
shown
God,
once
bro.
again,
Yeah.
where their questionable defending comes into play. The players kind of just get lackadaisical, man.
That's
they get
what it is,
lazy,
dude.
man.
They get lazy,
They get
complacent.
lazy. That goal for Ghana, the second one, came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere. They hadn't generated any opportunities.
No, they
the
didn't.
ball just comes in, slings into the middle of the box, and just a straight header into the back of the net.
Yeah,
It's 3-2.
he just picks it up off a slight deflection, and then out of nothing, it's 3-2. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, well, because of the extended stoppage time, there's 8 minutes left to get an equalizer. And if you think about everything that's gone on, it's deserved. Ghana deserved to get a draw at the end of this game because of the poor, complacent Portuguese defense and a soft penalty, in my opinion, from Ronaldo.
Yeah, but bro, the moment that second goal went in for Ghana, that player doing Ronaldo's celebration.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny. You
The
saw him.
Zoom.
You saw him running towards the corner flag, and you were like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, get the ball and go!"
Yeah.
But then he does like a half-ass
Yeah, it
suey
was half.
celebration.
It was half, yeah.
He like half-asses it. I'm
Yeah.
like, "What the hell was that about?" I still don't really know what that was about. What do y'all think that was about? Was he just trying to get his shit on? Like,
Yeah.
he was trying to shit on Ronaldo real quick? Or
Yeah.
it was so interesting to see that he does it. They show a shot of Ronaldo just being like, what the hell? Like, really confused and kind of got angry.
Yeah.
But following that, Ghana was trying, was
tried.
pressing Portugal, trying to get that third goal. And you were hoping for it, man. You were hoping for it.
Because you could feel it.
Yeah.
At that second goal, you're like, all right, Ghana have been flirting with an equalizer this entire second half. And at that moment, when it was only one goal away, you're like, they actually might pull this off, man. Portugal just looked lazy, man.
Yeah, man.
But we've seen
This
this
is what we've
before.
seen, man.
We've seen this throughout an entire European qualifier against Serbia, where they had leads, but in both times against Serbia, they let those leads go, man. And even against Turkey. in that big World Cup qualification playoff, they let go when they have the lead. So we've seen this time in and time out for Portugal, and it happened yet again against Ghana. And it ended with one of the most heartbreaking moments
God.
for me, as far as like hoping for an equalizer, with Iñaki Williams.
Hey, 10-second moment of silence. Let me see those F's in the chat for Iñaki Williams for what happened, bro. I cannot believe that happened. Moment of silence, please. Let's go. Starting now.
I can't be silent, man. This was bullshit. This is bullshit because we said it like if I truly do think Ghana are cursed. I really do think so.
Yeah.
When
No,
you think
go
of-
in, please. Please, bro.
when you think about what Ghana have been through, the type of giants that they go against, and the ability that they have to always keep it tight, and for them to lose the games that they contend against these big teams, it's ridiculous, man. We've seen it Suarez in 2010, and we see it now in Iñaki Williams, this time in the weirdest situation I think I've ever seen.
A golden egg of an opportunity,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Diogo Costa drops the ball off, doesn't see Iñaki Williams behind him.
Thinking he has all the time in the world.
Iñaki comes up, and what fucks with me, bro, is that he didn't slip up on the way there. He slips up once he gets at the ball. That's like doing a bank robbery, and then once you're about to like decide to shoot a cop, the gun doesn't have any bullets. He just fumbled it.
Yeah,
he
he
fumbled
fumbled
it,
it.
bro.
He fumbled it.
He completely slips, and the thing is, he managed to still get possession of the ball, and I think he slipped again, bro.
He did.
He
He did
just
twice.
slipped. He slipped twice.
He did twice.
That depressed me. It depressed me because if he's able to
I don't
stay
wanna
on
think
his
about
feet,
it.
if he's able to stay on his feet, he gets around Diogo Costa and he scores a goal. It's a 3-3 tie. Diogo Costa's career is haunted by what happened.
Jose Sauce starts the next game.
Jose
if that happens,
starts
bro.
the next game. Costa doesn't see the starting position for the next decade. And Ghana gets a 3-3 tie. And they fucking get a point out of this match. I can't believe it, man. I truly cannot believe it, man. Mance could have walked up and scored.
Think about it.
Thank God he missed. Come on. Yeah, no, I agree, man. This was so demoralizing, especially if you're a Ghana fan, to see that happen, because the broadcast was even surprised by it. We didn't see what happened.
Yeah, they were showing a highlight at the time.
Until we saw the replay, we were like, oh shit, that's what happened, man. Crazy, man. The Gerrard effect.
I was
Jesus
about to say,
Christ,
it's the
man.
Gerrard slip. It's
Jesus
the Gerrard
Christ.
slip, bro.
That's harsh, man. That's harsh. Costa nearly threw the game twice.
Twice, because there was a moment where he filmed the ball in possession, and Ghana almost took advantage of it too, but they couldn't quite get it because they were able to clear it. my conclusion at the end of this crazy ending to a game is Ghana showed up. Ghana definitely showed up, and they showed that they can go forward, they can press, and they can also defend. Salisu was a monster at the back, man. But the rest of that back line, once they were organized, showed that they can defend against anybody. For Portugal, as you already said, in spells, they are probably one of the better teams at this tournament. But their defense, their lackadaisical defense, they've shown that they haven't fixed it. They have not fixed the ability to just to stay engaged for 90 full minutes. At the end of the day, Portugal's game management is very poor. It's very poor. They should not. It should have stayed 3-1. It ended up being 3-2, and possibly it should have been 3-3.
Yeah.
It should have been 3-3, and that's ridiculous considering the state of the game at 3-1. So for me, Portugal showed a lot of weakness today, but in a weird way, they also showed a lot of strengths.
Yeah, the highs and lows of Portugal, man.
The extreme highs and lows of Portugal. So I'm left a little confused at the end of the day because Ghana looked good. They showed that they can contend in this group. Portugal get the win at the end of the day, and I guess put themselves in a good position to get out of this group because they have the talent. They will get out of this group, but there's some players that really underwhelmed today. Joao Cancelo was bad, man. I'm going to be completely honest.
What the hell was that about?
Cancelo was bad, bro.
Yeah.
He could not defend one-on-one, and even offensively, the way that we've seen him with Man City, his passes were off.
Yeah.
They were completely off. Bernardo Silva was a little off too. He wasn't as effective offensively as we've seen him at Man City, man.
Yeah, he had one-on-ones where he could have just tried to take on the Ghanaian player, and he didn't.
He didn't. He had a weird game. If anything, Felix actually played maybe his best game of the season. Portugal all around were very strange today. I thought Fernandes was really good. Leao needs to start, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Leao needs to start, and it begs the question. And if you're Portugal, this might hurt. Ronaldo had a big chance in that first half. In the first 20 minutes, Fernandes finds him wide open, breaking the channel of that Ghanaian defense. Ronaldo gets a heavy touch. And at that moment, he loses the ball. The keeper gets it. Damn. And I'm just like, if Leao was in that position, I don't think Leao has a heavy touch.
No, man.
There's no way. And so it begs the question, who do you take out? Do you take out Otavio or do you take out Ronaldo? I don't know, man. I really don't. But it begs the question. There is a better front three that Santos can play. And whether it's Ronaldo out or Ronaldo in, I do not know. But this is not the final form of Portugal's front three. This is not it.
Give me a poll, producer Rud. Should Ronaldo continue to start, yes or no? Yeah, man. A little concerning in that sense. And there's moments where just Ronaldo can't get the most out of a play anymore the way he used to, man.
He can't.
He just can't.
Yeah.
The penalty he drew, he was going away from the goal, man. Like he wasn't even trying to be menacing.
Yeah, there was no aggressive touch on that play.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Ronaldo for me was sloppy in big moments. He was good in a lot of moments, sure, but in the big moments where you need your best players to shine, Ronaldo is very sloppy. Very sloppy.
The results are in. 90 votes. Should Ronaldo continue to start? 60% says yes. 40% says no.
Yeah, I think it's even.
It's about 60-40.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
We have a few super chats here. Let me acknowledge some of these. Carlos Prado. Been here since the first video. Proud of y'all. Damn.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Carlos.
But USA beats England tomorrow. We'll
get there. We'll get
Soccer,
there.
not football. We'll get to that in our match preview at the end of this stream. Darth Chewy, my boy. Thoughts on Neymar's injury and CR7's presence is worth? What his presence is worth? I think
that's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
So Neymar's injury,
we need to see it develop.
I need to hear, just like Kane's ankle injury, there's going to be media talking about it. We'll find out in these next couple of days. For me, it's non-serious because I think it would have been a lot more hurt if it was like truly worth him not playing in the next games. He looked fine. He was walking. Yes, maybe it was a little swollen. Maybe it's just a bruise. It's a hit. So it's something to look out for in the future. Right now, I'm staying optimistic, to be completely honest. If it was worse, I truly do think Neymar would have been in a lot more pain.
Yeah.
As far as Ronaldo's presence, and this is where it gets what I was just saying. This is where it gets tricky, man. If I'm being honest, I think Portugal's best front three is probably Felix on the right, Leao that gets interesting. I think it's actually Otavio on the right, Leao on the left, and either Felix or maybe Andre Silva in the middle. I know this gets tricky.
I think Ronaldo has to start. I'm on the Ronaldo start side.
My biggest problem is that Ronaldo had a chance to prove that he belonged in this front three, and he failed in 2 occasions.
It's okay.
Two occasions.
But he also stepped up for a big penalty, man.
He
And we've
did.
seen 2 penalty misses so far already. Penalties aren't easy in the World Cup.
They aren't.
Perfect penalty. I might be overhyping that, but I still let him have his misses. You can live with that for now. But if it happens a little bit more in the group stage, then I'll consider it. But for now, it's Ronaldo.
All right. So, all right.
But it's worth
I'll
talking
give
about.
him that pass. So if he misses the same sitter or the same chance in the next game, then I truly do think there is cause for Ronaldo to not start. Because I truly do see as Felix, as we already saw today with a fantastic finish, and Leao too. Yeah, both Felix and Leao had incredible finishes today, and I truly do not know if Ronaldo would have the same impact today.
It's just I don't think they have enough good options for an immediate replacement. I don't think Andre Silva's that guy, man.
That's true.
I don't think he's the guy. And then who else are you putting? You're putting Joao Felix there as a false 9. I think you're just at the end of the day just better off putting the go-to guy who's been the go-to guy for the past decade.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where it
if
does
they
get
had
tricky.
if they had better competition there, I'd entertain that argument.
Right.
For sure. I believe that we will win. People are excited for us to talk about U.S.
I can't wait. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Mauricio Ramirez. I once scored a goal like Richarlison when I was 10.
Banger, man.
I was gonna volley it and slipped and still managed to hit. Tijera golazo. That's beautiful.
Golazo, man.
That's beautiful.
Golazo.
So yeah, Portugal ends up topping this group after this game. 3 points for them, 1 point for Ghana, 1 point. 1 point for Uruguay, 1 point for South Korea. Jesus,
Let's talk about the game.
0 points for Ghana. My fault. I was all over the place there.
You're good.
But let's talk about the other Group H game.
Yeah.
Between South Korea and Uruguay.
Yeah.
The 4th South American team here that we've been waiting to see.
Yes.
Really interesting performance from the Uruguayans, man. We had an interesting game where I think we learned a lesson, man. I think today in general was about learning lessons because we underestimated both Cameroon, but also South Korea, man. Especially if you watch that deep dive, you can go back. I specifically was not big on South Korea. I was not. I didn't see it with them, and I was truly just I was underwhelmed by their lineup, especially if Son wasn't going to play. But at the end of the day, Son started for them. And I think we saw a South Korean side that truly surprised a lot of the football world.
No, yeah. My biggest conclusion at the end of the day is, one, I'm sorry, South Korea, because I got this completely wrong. They played incredible today. Absolutely showed up today against Uruguay. Played a very good game. Managed the entire 90 minutes and was threatening offensively and very organized defensively. The second takeaway is, bro, I gotta watch more K-League, man. Dude. Well, because the reason why I did not have this Korean side doing as well is 2 reasons. One, I thought they were in a weak Asian group for qualification, so I thought it was given for them to go to this World Cup. 2, half of their team play in Korea. They're starting 11.
Starting lineup, yeah.
They're starting
right.
No. There's a lot of European talent, but a lot of them actually don't start.
Mm-hmm.
Half of their starters play in Korea, which is phenomenal. And the fact that they actually showed up today against Uruguay, I gotta watch more Korean football, man. And that's on me. And I'll get there. So if there's any Korean viewers out there, I apologize.
2023,
I will do my homework.
The Give and Go partners with the K-League, man.
But they played a really good game today against Uruguay, and they really did shock me because they were very organized. But not only that, they had really good technique on the ball. They're very quick, but they also had really good ideas. One player that I want to highlight that I did not see highlight was the replacement for Hwan Hee Chang. So Chang, Wolverhampton Wanderers player, injured actually right before the game. So he ends up not getting the start. But Korean K-League player, Na gets the start and has an incredible game. And he just like that, I think a Premier League player getting replaced, I'm like, there's no way. But no, Na comes in and has a really good game out on that right wing, getting the ball, getting big, penetrating, but also being smart, knowing when to hold the ball and keep possession. But you could say that about every other Korean player. Fantastic on the ball. Heung-min Son also showed up in fleeting moments. Yeah. I would like to see him get more on the ball, but for the most part, when Korea had a chance, they did the most with what they could do. And at the end of the day, they got one golden opportunity that I think they should have put through. Wee Joe gets the chance and skies it, unfortunately. And the thing is, I actually highlighted this. Joe's out of form. He is out of form playing with Olympiacos. He's only scored like twice this season. Is in really bad form, and I think it showed. The substitute, Cho, who actually plays in Korea, had a much bigger impact when he came on. So I expect Cho to start over Joe in the next game because I think Cho would have finished that chance, to be completely honest, man. And I think the coach now realizes that. So that's what I got out of this game. Korea can play, and they can play against anybody in this group. As for Uruguay, bro, they didn't play bad, but I expected a little more.
Yeah, you don't think they were a little too defensive? Like
I think so.
Like they were afraid to go 100% offensively.
They were.
But
And
should we credit South Korea for that?
Shit.
That's the thing I'm wondering, because I'm just like, maybe South Korea was able to kind of get in their heads, like,
a little
surprising them.
Yeah. I think actually from the get-go, I was a little surprised by the formation that Alonso went with. So I thought he was going to go with a 4-4-2 and play with 2 up top and then 2 wide midfielders. But he went with a 4-4-3, only going with 2 wide midfielders and 1 up top. So at the end of the day, I thought it was actually a little bit more defensive from a squad selection perspective, man, because he just had Suarez and Nunez kind of going forward, and that was about it. Pelistri was active, but we already kind of knew his quality is suspect. It's a little bit inconsistent. And then I thought Valverde could have been utilized better. I think Valverde needs to get more touches on the ball, man. And he wasn't as involved as I would like him to be. But for me, that's not down to Valverde. It's down to Alonso. I think Alonso got this wrong. I don't know what he was expecting, but I think Alonso did not set up Uruguay to succeed, to be completely honest, bro. So in this next game, I'm not sure who they play, but
they play Portugal. It's the Portugal.
Oh, yeah, it is. In this next game, he has to be more brave. He has to play 2 wide and 2 up front and just 2 holding midfielders. If Uruguay want to be successful, especially after this poor performance, in my opinion, they need to be way more offensive. So for me, Uruguay kind of let me down, but individually, they do have class, and they did show that. Valverde had chances.
Yeah,
Betancourt showed his class. Godin looked great. If there's anything out of this, the back line with Godin and Jimenez, I thought played very, very well. So from that defensive perspective, Uruguay look good. They look really good, and they can play Portugal. They can play Ghana for sure. But offensively, I need to see more, bro. I need to see way more. Whether it's playing De La Cruz earlier, maybe playing Canobio. I don't know what they need to do, but they need to utilize, I think, Darwin Nunez a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe you start Cavani, because I will say this, Suarez did not get any touches in today, man. But again, I think it's due to the lack of midfield presence that Uruguay had. So I think offensively, Uruguay underwhelmed.
Okay, I see a lot of people in the chat really harping on Suarez's performance. So we'll do a poll here. Should Suarez continue to start?
Oh,
so
no.
A lot of people are harping on him.
Suarez, again,
similar situation to Ronaldo?
Worse. This is worse. Suarez maybe touched the ball twice. And I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but, bro, he was non-existent there, bro. And it sucks because it's just down to physicality. Suarez has the IQ, but his body's giving out, man.
Damn.
His body's giving out. He cannot go against he can't
against
go
the backline of Kim's, bro.
Right. Yeah, that backline of Kim's, and when you have Kim Min-jae playing for Napoli, who had a great game, by the way. Exactly what we had predicted.
We did highlight that, yeah.
We did highlight that. We had predicted him dominating that defense, and he absolutely did. Even Nunez struggled against Kim. So, yeah, Uruguay's offense, they need to try something differently. And the only way to do that is to get more offensive. If they come out with the same idea as they did against Korea, Portugal's winning, bro. I don't care what you say. Uruguay need to be way more offensive. So, I think Alonso completely got this wrong.
Should Suarez continue to start? 70 votes are in. 25% say yes. 75% say no.
Yeah. I think when Cavani only had like 10 minutes, but he was at least a little bit more influential with his touches. So I say start Cavani and Nunez. That's my ultimate prediction.
Yeah, I think my takeaway is just that this group is way tighter than I thought, man. I really did think it was Portugal, Uruguay, a big gap.
Same.
And then South Korea, and then another big gap, and Ghana. But even Ghana today showed me that they're going to make it tough for every single team that they play. South Korea could very well be battling with Uruguay to get out of this group. Yeah. And that'd be awesome to see, because Asian teams are surprising so far, man.
Yes.
Asian teams are stepping up outside of Qatar and Iran. The rest are doing really good. And so shout out to the South Koreans and shout out to my Uruguayans as well. There's a lot to be fixed here, but moving forward, they're going to have to figure it out quick with them facing off against Portugal in their next game, which is going to be an absolute banger, but not too much to be stressed out or scared about because Portugal wasn't truly convincing in how they won today.
Right. So, yeah, just to finish this group analysis, I agree. This group is now wide open. Portugal has shown that they are beatable against anybody, bro. If Ghana can go at them and score 2 goals, possibly 3, Uruguay, even with their kind of like mid offensive display today, Uruguay can score against Portugal. And then for Ghana, South Korea,
That's a good one.
They showed today that they can beat anybody in this group. So that we have two incredible games staged for the second round in this group, bro.
Let me do a poll here. Ghana versus South Korea. What happens? We'll do Ghana, South Korea, and a draw.
I actually don't know.
I want to know what people think.
I want to say Korea just because maybe they're a little bit more disciplined and they have Son. Son, if he can get on the ball a lot more, then there's more potential for absolute magic.
Yeah, no, there's potential, but I think there's almost what I saw from Kudus today was incredible.
Kudus was great.
They managed to maximize him completely.
Yeah.
If anything, I think it's a fault that they took him out like in the 70th minute,
right
before all the goals came in from Portugal. Same with Ayew. They took him out right before the goals came. Literally the next play, the goals come in, and it's like, fuck, we need goals, and both of our best offensive players are out. So I want to see what people say about this. Who wins versus Ghana versus South Korea? 50 votes are in. 37% say Ghana, 48% say South Korea, 15% say a draw. So that is pretty much why I thought.
I'm leaning more towards South Korea, just a little bit though, but I am leaning towards South Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Awesome. So this group just got really interesting.
Dude, it did.
Really interesting. And at the end of the day, Portugal got a big win that gets them 3 points to top the group going into the second match day for that group. Let's move on to the last game of the day, which was the first game of the day between Switzerland and Cameroon. This Swiss side we built up as a really strong team going into the tournament, battling it out with Serbia as a potential second place team in this group. And it got tough for them at times. It got tight, man. Cameroon started off really, really well. It's essentially what we thought they would do based off of what we saw in AFCON and honestly these past few years. Cameroon has a really good offensive attack, and
we highlighted that.
They can catch you off guard pretty constantly, and they did that for a good amount of time in that first half specifically, generating, I think, honestly, like 2 or 3 really good chances, but not being able to finish them, man. Right. In the starting lineup, we saw Choupo-Moting get the start because of his form at Bayern Munich over AFCON star Aboubakar.
Right.
And I think we saw what happened with Choupo starting because he got a golden opportunity off of a steal, breakaway, one-on-one with the keeper, gets a little bit of body from that Swiss defender, but still expected to score a goal, and it's a soft shot that Jan Sommer, luckily, who's healthy, saves it. And from then on, that was probably the clearest opportunity for Cameroon. Switzerland slowly controls the game. From then on, they get a goal in the second half with Mbolo, who's also Cameroonian, or at least comes from a Cameroonian background. Right. Gets his goal of the day. They go up 1-0. From then on, they just control the match and saw it out. Your thoughts?
Yeah. So I'd say the first, actually kind of very similar to the Serbia-Brazil game, the first 20 minutes were very good from Cameroon. It was what I expected. They have very good individual talent going forward with Choupo-Moting, Karl Toko Ekambi, to be very specific. But they also have good midfielders with Martin Hongla, who I thought had a great game, but then also Zambo Anguissa, who I thought had a very good game too. So I kind of had expected Cameroon to go forward. We had seen it in AFCON, and we had predicted that they would be a force going forward just menacingly in this group, no matter who they were playing. But then after the 20 minutes, I genuinely thought that Switzerland slowly took possession, slowly took the domination of this game in general. And I know Cameroon still had flashes of moments, flashes of possession through the rest of this game. But for the majority of the rest of the game, in my opinion, I only saw Switzerland winning this game. Once they got that goal 1-0, to be completely honest, I did not see Cameroon getting one back, and that is exactly what happened. As the game got closer to that 90th minute, Switzerland got stronger and stronger and stronger. But for me, it was what I had expected. Cameroon are good. They're feisty. But we highlighted Switzerland just have a knack for getting results, bro. Once they get that goal, it is hard to take it off of them. And Switzerland just are very good at game management specifically. I thought Xhaka had a good game. Again, for those first 20 minutes, Switzerland actually looked a little shaky. But after that, everyone kind of got into their form. Widmer started getting a lot more forward on that right-hand side, getting more involved, sending in a lot of dangerous crosses, and Bolo getting his goal specifically. Even Seferovic had a golden opportunity, chopping inside off of that through ball, getting a clear shot on goal.
I can't
but
believe he missed
he
that.
missed it.
Yeah.
He missed it at the end of the day.
Missed
He
that.
should have finished that. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, it should have been 2-0 to Switzerland.
2-1.
2-1, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? But Switzerland, I think, showed me that they're here to play. They're as solid as they can be. And I think this was a good first game for them. They have to play better if they want to truly compete against Brazil. But I think this is a good game for them to start off. Because I think they're like, okay, we got to shore up.
Sometimes it ain't completely pretty.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to get the win, however you get it.
Exactly. I think a little bit, for example, Djibril Sow could have been a little bit better on the ball. But I think he'll take that into that next game against Brazil and be like, all right, I have to play a little bit better here, and we can compete against Brazil. I expect Switzerland to go at Brazil, not offensively, maybe like Canada did against Belgium, but I expect them to go at Brazil in their own Swiss way, in the sense that they're just very compact, they're very smart about how they do it, and they're just good at game management. They'll let Brazil attack them, but then in their own moments, Switzerland will go at it. Shaqiri, I thought, had a good game today, but it's what we expected. Shaqiri is very creative, and he's very good going forward. So Switzerland, for me, had a good game today against Cameroon. I want them to be a little bit better, but at the end of the day, they got the win. They got the win, and it was tricky at times, but I thought Switzerland had a good game today.
Some comments from people in the chat. Matthew Daniel, Cameroon whipped out some amazing last chance blocks. Dennis says, first half has looked like Switzerland played against Ghana. I don't know. Jay Zuniga, Ghana's midfield is pretty weak, but Korea's is also... sorry, I thought that was related to the other game. Enrique Rios, Jan Sommer kept them in the game as well. Beast keeper. Yeah,
I love Sommer, man. Sommer's such a solid keeper.
Yeah, he's great.
He's so good.
We got a donation here from Andy Garcia. Mexico finna lose on Saturday, is what he said.
Damn.
Little beaver emoji. God damn, man.
Man.
Believe.
He's Argentine.
But yeah, this game was interesting. I think, if anything, the lesson I learned here is that Cameroon isn't as bad as I thought, man. They really aren't. I thought they'd get pummeled on a little bit more, and the fact that they did have an opportunity to even take the lead in this game surprised me. It surprised me. If they could be a little bit more clinical, then this could have been a closer match. But ultimately, they fell short, and I do see Cameroon losing every game in this group. I
do too. The thing is, the way I see Switzerland is I see them as the best non-flair team in all of world football. So you will never see Switzerland dazzle. You will never see Switzerland dominate offensively the way we saw Brazil today. But I see them as the best team that doesn't have flair. I see them as a team that can always get a result no matter who they play. And I think we saw that. Even if they play the weakest team, they'll win 1-0. If they play the best team, they could win 1-0. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Switzerland will never get more than 2 goals. It's just in their DNA. So based off of today's performance, I'm not surprised whatsoever. So
yeah, I expected them to get the dub here.
Yeah, but not even with a big margin. Like I'm not surprised they only won by 1-0. It's what Switzerland do. They don't score a lot of goals, but they still get the result. So at the very least, I expect Switzerland to either tie or just lose by Brazil by 1 goal. If they lose by more than 1, I'll actually be surprised. Yeah. So that's what I'm really curious to see, and I'm very excited to see how they play against Brazil in that next game.
Yeah, it'll be a good one, Switzerland-Brazil. Switzerland were playing poorly no matter what. Cameroon won in the end. What the hell are you talking about, man?
That, bro.
What the hell are you talking about?
Cameroon were brave. I'll give them that.
They're
Cameroon
brave.
were brave, but Switzerland were the better team.
Do you see any more 0-0 draws in the second round of matches? I actually did want to say something about the 0-0 draws because we've had a good amount.
There's a couple.
But I've loved them. They haven't been boring 0-0 games.
Nah.
I think the worst one was probably the Mexico-Poland one.
That was the worst one.
But even that one had a really awesome moment with San Memo Ochoa. Getting the save against Robert Lewandowski. So I think all of them have been really good, and they've been trying to string out results, and it's cool to see these teams go up against each other.
Yeah, it's been so fun.
4 0-0 matches already. Pretty crazy. Yeah, I agree with you, Med Heelan. Dude, Brazil will destroy Switzerland. I agree. Raul Gutierrez says, I need a Shaqiri banger. Hey, you might step up in that Brazil match. I missed the Swiss and Cameroon game. I couldn't wake up that early. I feel you, bro.
It's tough. It's
I
tough,
feel
man.
you, bro.
It's tough.
That's so early. So early. Let's do match ratings. Match ratings. As I mentioned before in one of our past streams, we rate every single match at this tournament, and then we're gonna have a spreadsheet where we list it out so we can see what matches were the best on a scale to 1 to 10. I want to know what you guys thought about today's matches. We'll start with Switzerland against Cameroon. What do you guys rate that match in terms of entertainment, in terms of quality, atmosphere, good moments? Try to quantify everything around the match. How would you guys rate that Switzerland-Cameroon match? A 7 out of 10, a 6, an 8, a 9? Where would you stand on it personally?
Cameroon, Switzerland?
Yeah. 6.5, 4. Chat's saying 4.
Jesus Christ. Well, first off, I never rate a game less than 5 because if you're a professional team, it's at least a 5.
Yeah.
That's how I rate it. If you're a second division team, then I'll go below a 5. But if you're a professional, I keep it at 5 or higher. So for Switzerland, Cameroon, I'm gonna say like a 7.0.
You got 7. Wait, I see no 7s. I see 4s, 5s, and 6. We got harsh judges in the chat, but
that's fine. That's
so
fine.
be it. 4, 5. So I'll say the average here is a 5. Yeah, I'm seeing about a 5. No 7s, 6s, 6.5. We'll go with 5 for that one. Okay. Following that, Uruguay, South Korea. What would you guys rate the Uruguay South Korea match?
This one's a 7.5 or like 7.7, something like that.
It was entertaining.
This
back
was
to
really
back.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Two teams.
Both teams had chances, and both teams really did surprise me.
Yeah. Scroll down for me, producer Rud. We got 7, 6, a little higher. Yeah, 7, 6. I'd say like an average of 6.5 for that one.
That's
an
fair.
8 from Orlando Hernandez.
Good.
7.
That game was great.
Okay.
It was a good game.
Yeah. Okay. So far, Uruguay is the second best match of the day. Let's put in Portugal versus Ghana.
Jeez.
I think that's an 8. That's an
Yeah.
8. Up until the 70th, 60th minute, it was a stalemate. But after that, bro, with the stories on the line, with Ghana potentially making it 3-3, that's an 8 out of 10 for me. Yeah. And there we go. We're seeing 9, 10, 9, 7, 8, 8 out of 10. Completely agree. Complete 10s. Damn. A 10? That's a 10? All right. Okay. I'd say an average of about 8.5, perhaps even a 9 here. 9 would be a 10 if Ghana scored. Actually, I think I would agree with that.
If Ghana scored, I'd give
that'd
this
be
like
10.
a 9 something.
It'd be close. It'd be up there with the Saudi Arabia match.
Yeah.
Mauricio Ramirez, 7.5. And then lastly, Brazil versus Serbia. Where do we land on that one? I haven't rated that one personally, so I want to leave this one up to the chat. Serbia, Brazil. We're going to go 7, 7.5. I thought Brazil put on a good show.
I'm going to go 7.3.
Yeah, 7.3, 7, 10 out of 10. This one's drastic. 12, 8.5, 7, 8, 9, 20. Jesus, we got Brazilian fans. I'd say this is about an average of a 7.5, maybe an 8. The Serbian team that we know did not show up. I questioned
That's what I'm
I
saying.
questioned Dragan, what's his name? Stojkovic. Coaching decisions. They abandoned what got them here and changed their whole plan and game style. Wrong approach. I actually agree.
That's exactly what I said, so thank you.
I agree. Yeah, the coach is what concerns me.
The coach completely got it wrong.
Yeah, 10s. Damn, Yaya is active in here. All right, awesome. Go. We got our ratings in. So far, the best match of the tournament is still Argentina versus Saudi Arabia with a 9.7 score.
That game shook me.
Yeah.
That game made me question my life, man.
Germany versus Japan got a 9.3, and it seems like the best game of the day was Portugal-Ghana, which I think got like an 8.5.
The ending was ridiculous.
Yeah, that game was awesome. Okay, and now we're going to preview tomorrow's matches.
We got some bangers tomorrow.
We got some bangers because finally we have the second round. I got it, bro. Don't worry. Yeah. We got the second round of games now, which is just an awesome point in the tournament. Probably the most exciting because once you go into the third round, some games don't even matter.
Right.
But that second one it's almost like a mini knockout stage, man.
Yeah.
So here we go. First match of the day. Wales versus Iran. Let me get a poll here. Who wins between Wales and Iran? I want to know what the chat thinks. Wales, Iran to start off the day, man.
Wales have to win this based off of how poorly Iran played. Every other team in this group should consider Iran as the minnows completely. So Wales have to win this game. And if they do, it'll put incredible pressure on the U.S. to at least get a draw against England. And we'll get there too. But I think Iran will play better.
Yeah.
And it'll get interesting because if they just defend, then it'll be tough for Wales. But if Wales utilize, first off, Kiefer Moore has to start. If Kiefer Moore starts and Bale does what he usually does, Wales will at least get one goal. At that point, Wales will have to stay stout defensively. Don't let Taremi or Asmoon get any space. They should be able to win this game. I don't think it'll be easy, but I do think Wales will get the win, especially knowing what's at stake with the U.S.-England game.
Yeah. The chat has Wales with 69% winning, Iran 15%, draw 15%. I do wonder if Iran can make it tough for them a little bit.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, if they can make it a little bit tough. Maybe they get motivated coming off of that really tough loss and
Yes.
being like, this might be the best opportunity for us to have some sort of a solid game.
Yes.
And they can make it tough for a Welsh team who, in the first half of the USA game, couldn't create a single opportunity.
Right.
It's just a matter of, do we see that second half Wales or first half? If we see second half, they're winning that match, man.
Right.
They're winning that match. Mav says, well, Wales and Iran are both kind of weak, to be honest. It will be a game from both sides, maybe. Decisive game for both. Antonio says, Soltero always delivers the facts. I'm telling you, Soltero the octopus, man. Soltero the octopus. Iran simply don't have players that can compete in international tournaments. Damn.
There's a good chance that's true. Yeah.
Apart from Asmun and Taremi. It'll be a good game to watch. Someone said this is a game to skip. And low-key, if you want to make sure to catch up on sleep, you might be okay skipping this first match, getting some sleep so you can be fresh for those last 3 games. But regardless, we're watching all the games, baby. We're watching all the games here up until the last 20 minutes. Okay, cool. All right, so we predict Wales gets a win here.
I do. I like I said, I don't think it'll be easy, but I think they will get it.
I think I'm going to go, man, I'm going more draw, or Wales wins barely.
Dude, a draw is really positive for the U.S. That is really good for the U.S.
I really think Iran might actually show up a little bit. Have something.
I
they
think
might show
will.
some pride.
I think they will, but I do think Wales will just be like, fuck it. We scored against the U.S. We can score against Iran.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next game at 7 a.m. for us will be Qatar versus Senegal. The host nation going up against the Senegalese team that lost their first match 2-0 to Netherlands. They need to win this match, and they need to win it by a good margin.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be as big a margin. I say 2-0 max, to be completely honest. I don't see Senegal as very offensive, but I do have them winning this game 100% of the time. So I hope Qatar make it a competition at the very least. I hope they play a little bit better than they did against Ecuador. But yeah, I mean, I only see this one way, and that's Senegal winning.
Yeah, let me get a quick poll. Senegal, Qatar, same thing. Who wins? Yeah, Senegal has to win because
and I think they will, man.
I think anyone playing Qatar will.
There's just no way. But their defense is going to be too strong for Qatar to get a goal, to be completely honest. Because I actually was very impressed by Senegal's defense against Netherlands. There's no way Qatar scores. There's just no way.
Yeah, I think there has to be. I think that what Qatar is going to do might be similar to Iran a little bit. They might show a little bit more pride this time around.
Yeah.
Which is why I could see Senegal maybe 1-0, 2-0, at most 3-0. But it'll be interesting to see if Qatar gets a goal in this tournament.
That'd be dope.
That'll be an awesome moment.
That'd actually be dope.
I want to see that. Just one Qatari goal, please, bro.
Please.
But 84% say Senegal, 9% say Qatar, 7% draw. Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, and
Qatar doesn't even know how to pass the ball.
Well, yeah, I mean, to that point, personally, what I want to see actually is Qatar just be a little bit more confident on the ball. Because I know they can do it. They've done it before, but they did not do it against Ecuador.
Yeah.
But if they could just even get a little bit of moment with passing fluidity, I'd actually be happy.
Yeah, man, just one goal. That would be their main goal this year, to get a single goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that they won't even get a single goal. That could also
and
happen.
They might, bro, when you have Koulibaly at the back, it's gonna be so hard.
Yeah, bro,
it's gonna be so hard.
All right. Following that, we have the bangers of the day. 2 back-to-back incredible games. Netherlands versus Ecuador. This will be a good one to kind of get a good gauge of how good this Ecuadorian team really truly is, because up to this point they've gotten results that we expected from them. But can they take it to a Netherlands squad that ultimately got a 2-0 win against Senegal? It was tight 0-0 for a long time, but then those last 15 minutes the quality of Netherlands showed out. They got the dub. Ecuador are going to be looking to just put in a better result than Senegal at the end of the day. Yeah. Whether it's a 1-0 loss, I think they can live with that. But if they can if they can get a tie out of here, would be huge for the momentum.
Huge.
And their ultimate future in this group.
Huge.
Yeah, chat, same thing. Let me see. Ecuador, Netherlands. Give me a poll on that one, please. It'll be fun to see the South American side go up against Netherlands, who I think show that they weren't as good as we thought initially, man. I think Netherlands ultimately disappointing just slightly. With how they first started off the game against Senegal. Senegal was really good about putting them on the ropes and forcing them to earn the win. and win the match. I think Ecuador could do a similar thing here if a good Ecuadorian side shows out. I've said it before. I love how this Ecuadorian team stepped up and got good results against a Brazilian team in qualifying. If that same Ecuador shows up, I could see a tie here. I could see even another upset for the tournament with Ecuador potentially beating Netherlands. So ultimately, my prediction, I think Netherlands wins but only by a 1-goal margin.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know the margin, but I do know the Netherlands will win. I just think the fact that Ecuador played such a weak team in that first game is actually a detriment to their futures, whereas Netherlands grinding out a win against a very sturdy Senegal defense, I actually think helped them. I think it'll be like, oh shit, okay, these teams are good in this group. We got to actually focus a little bit more. And I think they've had good trainings in the past. Louis van Gaal will drill these guys, be like, look, Ecuador is not going to be any easier. Go out, play the same way, but play a little bit harder. And I think actually the fact that they had to grind against Senegal is going to lead them to a victory against Ecuador.
Yeah, that is true. They ultimately didn't play that good of a game.
They didn't.
And they still won.
Yeah.
Right. Who wins Ecuador versus Netherlands? 27% says Ecuador. 55% says Netherlands. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think so.
I agree. I do think Netherlands wins this match, but I just think it'll be a little bit closer than that Senegal game.
And it's going to come down to that final game, Senegal-Ecuador. That's going to be the game. That's going to be the game. Netherlands, I think, will get out of this group. Not comfortably, but somewhat comfortably.
Rayon says, Reynoso, what's your hair care products, bro? I'm out here trying to stop this hairline from receding, brother, bro. I'm trying everything, but I use Moroccan oil, brother, to keep the curls going. After all the shocks so far, I'm never predicting a football game again.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
At the end of the day, I don't like doing predictions. I just like analyzing regions, like knowing how South America's doing, or CONCACAF, or Africa, or Asia. That's what I look for. I don't look for singular predictions, man. I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. Last game of the day is going to be, what a way to start off the second round, man.
Oh my God.
What a game. England versus USA. Thank you, producer Rudd. He's already on the poll. England versus USA, man. England versus USA, man. The
Black
States
Friday.
Facing off against the British. Black Friday, the day after this beautiful Thanksgiving evening. The headlining match, man. I am so excited to see what the fuck happens in this game, because any result will be so fun to talk about. What if England completely demolishes the USA, man? Demolishes and doesn't even give them a chance.
That'd be insane.
Likewise, what if the USA actually takes it to this English squad, bro? Imagine the talking points from that perspective.
2-1 win?
We'd have to talk on this podcast and call it soccer from here on out. We would not be allowed to call it football if that happened. We wouldn't. The poll results are in. 94 votes. England 67%. USA 22%. Draw 11%. My take here is that if you're the USA, you're a little disappointed that England had such a good first game.
Yeah.
Whoever wins takes 21 Savage. Jesus Christ. England had such a good first game. 6-2 win where they absolutely dominated Iran. Everyone got involved in that demolishing of the Irani team. And I just think that going into a match, the second match day, you don't want to face a team that's that hot offensively.
Oh, they're hot right now.
They're so hot. And the USA, on the other hand, had at the end of the day, had to grind out a 1-1 result against Wales, where Wales could have even gotten a 2-1 win if they kept that momentum going. No. So, not looking good going into the match, but this is the World Cup. Once that ball gets rolling, you know these guys are going to step up and try their absolute best, put so much heart into the match. I ultimately see this English side winning this match by, I'll say 2 goals. 2-goal win for England. Damn. And I see them being the better team throughout the game. But USA might have a little bit of might keep it tight for a little bit.
All right.
But I just don't see them doing it this time around.
Yeah, what I love about the group stage is, we've already kind of prefaced it, the first round is truly just jitters. Like, who knows how a team is going to perform? But the second round, everything is out. Everything is understood. We either need a win, we need a draw, or we could accept a loss, right? And that's what I love about the second round, because we know how hot England is going into this round. We know how good the U.S. can be. We also know the faults of this USA team. So we understand both sides going into every single round 2 game, bro. We completely understand it. And so that means a lot for me. It's going to be tough. Going to be tough for the U.S. But my God, could we surprise based off of our first half performance against the Wales, man. There's a lot to be had in this game against the English. I don't know what's going to happen, but if I had to put money on it, I do think the English England will win this game, but it's because they have so much quality. They have so much quality going forward. I think it'll be interesting to see how the U.S. Ultimately defend it. But, man, the USA have a good chance to do something in this game. And no matter what happens, even though I have the England winning this game, I'm all U.S. I'm all U.S., baby. Let's go. Let's see what the red, white, and blue can do a day after Thanksgiving. Come on, man. Let's see what can happen. I just hope it's tight because it might not be, man. Jude Bellingham, Jack Grealish, Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane might go off. They might go off, and it might be a 2-3-0 type of deficit for the U.S. But I am praying that the U.S. show up and show their class because we do have true quality on this team. There is a possibility that this game is tight. Let's see what happens. But either way, this game is going to be so enticing.
Yeah, I have a rule that when it's World Cup time, even as a Mexico fan, I got to root for my CONCACAF brothers. I rooted for Canada yesterday. I try to root for Costa Rica, but Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. And I'll be rooting for USA, man. I want them to do something good because when you think about the opportunity that the USA team has, this will be the most watched game for them this tournament.
Oh,
USA,
yeah, they'll know that.
The way they're promoting it,
that.
bro, the way they're promoting it on Fox right now is insane.
Yeah,
Every single game they're promoting this match. It's going to be the most watched game for them. So this is the one opportunity that the USA gets every 4 years to show out and prove to American fans that it's worth following this team. It's going to be tough against an incredible English squad, but if they can just kind of motivate themselves in that sense and be like, this is our chance, guys. Like, we can truly prove to be something special here, and this would jumpstart their incredible run in this tournament if they are able to get a result. I think that's truly one of the few angles they can look at in the sense of wanting to be hopeful and motivated going into this match. If they do something special, it'd be awesome to see. And so let's see it, man. This is a young team. They're motivated. They will put in the effort needed. And a lot of these guys play in England. A couple of these guys play in England.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm interested to see what moves Berhalter does lineup-wise. Does Sargent start again? Does he put in Haji Wright instead? Does he go with Gio Reyna? Does he get a start at this point? Because he didn't show at all in that last match. Does Aronson get a start in the midfield this time around? I'm interested to see that lineup. But overall, the game will be really fun to watch, and I just can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Let me read some comments here. We have some super chats from Dex Suruno. Who are the top goal scorers after the first round, and do you see any of them winning the Golden Boot? I think Saka might be one of them. Taremi, actually.
Taremi has two.
Has two.
Richarlison has two.
That's another brace, yeah.
The thing is, if Richarlison keeps starting for Brazil, he's going to be the main focal point in that center in the box. I could actually see Richarlison getting a lot of goals, especially if Switzerland and Cameroon do not show up in the group stage. Brazil could get a lot of goals in this group stage.
Yeah, I could see him. I don't think this will be the first rebound goal he gets.
Right.
Because of all the attacking options, it's going to happen again.
Right.
Man. Yeah, I see Richarlison having a good tournament, which is great, honestly, given that he gets criticized so much in the media. Mauricio Ramirez, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for making this World Cup so much more fun. I'm sitting each game and now analyzing it now. Yeah, dude, that's the whole point of this show is that we just try to like provide a little bit more excitement and insight into all these matches because, bro, it's the World Cup, man.
World Cup.
It's the World Cup, man. Battle of the gays. Who's gayer, USA or England? Jesus Christ. I probably missed it, but that Bukhari celebration made my day. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Mbappe might be a top scorer. Yeah, it's looking great, man. It's looking exciting. I can't wait for tomorrow. We'll be back once again, guys. Reynoso, are you going bald if Mexico beats Argentina? Yes, I am, bro, because I'm already going to be there in 3 years. This hair's going to be gone. So why not speed up the process, bro? If Mexico wins, I have so much adrenaline, I'll get a fucking haircut, bro. I do not. You can shave it if you like.
Hey, that'll be a special day, though. We're gonna have a hell of an episode that day.
We're gonna
have a hell of an episode.
We have DFO, Debatable Football Opinions, scheduled to come down to the studio and watch the game with us live. We'll be live streaming our reaction to that match as we're watching it on his channel, and then he'll be joining the post-game analysis here after the game ends. If you don't know, Debatable Football Opinions is an account on Instagram, and he's from Argentina. So he's a big Argentina fan. I'm a big Mexico fan. That will be incredible to watch, and I cannot wait. That's this Saturday, so look forward to that. Reynoso's hair will be spared, thankfully. Yeah, man. I hope, man. I don't need that. I don't need that, bro. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Thanks a lot for the work you put in. I'm in the Fort Hood area. I'd love to chat with you guys someday from Skate Beast 3.
You definitely could, man. We're hoping to schedule something.
Actually, there's gonna be a break at some point throughout the World Cup where there won't be a game on one of these days, and we want to host a meetup here in Austin. We're gonna rent out a pitch, and we're gonna have people come on in. And the idea here is to have almost like a 5 to 10 minute guest feature where we have viewers come meet up with us and just give us their takes for 5 minutes, switching out, and just getting them on the show, man. It'd be a great live stream to do that. For anybody who's watching us from Austin, Texas, or near the Austin, Texas area, that'll be happening soon. We'll release a date on that very soon. So look forward to that. But anything else I need to acknowledge? Where is Soltero from? Shots on the live on Saturday?
Shots? What do you mean?
Shots on the live stream on Saturday?
Oh, like tequila?
Yes.
Oh, I can do that.
Yes, probably.
I can do that for sure.
Yeah, gladly. Awesome, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, folks. Thanks for tuning into the live stream once again. This was a great show, and as always, excited for tomorrow and looking forward to it, man.
Dude, I'm so excited. Round 2, man. It's my favorite stage of the group stage, man. I cannot wait for tomorrow. We're going to have a bigger episode tomorrow. Let's see what happens, bro. Let's see what happens.
Perhaps the last round 2 of the World Cup, if it expands in 2026, it might be different then.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace, guys.